How do you? And obviously, we know DJ's kind of in an uncertain spot going forward. How do you just think about the line? Do you have to, think about someone for the spot that you thought he was going to step into, or are you just kind of keeping it open-ended until you have more?
Yeah, I mean, everything's open-ended. I think going into camp every year, we don't really have a set depth chart. Even returning starters, I mean, there's always an opportunity for you to win or lose the job, and so. I've got 18 guys that are ready to go out and compete for those 5 spots.
In DJ's position, back in the spring when he was practicing fully with you guys, was the thought that he was going to get the waiver, or what was kind of the situation in terms of where his eligibility?
Those are really good conversations for Coach Riley to have.
Every offensive line kind of takes on their own unit, takes on their own personality.
Yeah.
What would the best way to describe this group at 25?
That's a great question. I think really close. I think that's one of the things when I came in and took over the O-line that I pushed really hard with the guys was, man, we got to spend more time together off the field, in the classroom, just any waking moment we can have to come together and continue to build chemistry. I know we've talked about it a lot, but a lot of that chemistry is built off the field, and it's built breaking bread together, spending time together on the weekends. And so I think this is the closest that this group has been since we've been here, and honestly one of the closer O-line units I've been around, and I think hopefully that's going to pay dividends for us.
What have you seen so far as just, like you said, building that chemistry on and off the field? What are some of the things that you guys were able to administer to see that these guys can really build together as they prepare for this 25 season?
Yeah, it's something I learned from one of my old coaches was if they're not going to come to you, you got to bring them in first. And so my wife and I have always been big believers that we're going to start by bringing them to our house or taking them to dinners, and then hopefully it'll grow where they'll start wanting to doing things on their own. And so they've started doing these barbecues and grill outs. I know a bunch of you guys have talked about them with them throughout the summer, but it's been really cool because it's grown to more than just the O-line a lot of times, and that's when you start seeing really special things, is when it's the O-line starting it, but then the defensive guys come and the tight ends show up and the quarterbacks come, and then you look and there's 80 people there. And so I think that's been a really big thing with our team this summer, and like I said, hopefully it correlates onto the field.
Can you talk a little bit more about your wife and like the behind-the-scenes role that she plays, and maybe some other people too that we don't see or get to talk to on a regular basis?
100%. Yeah, I am a million times better coach because of my wife. Even when she worked here, it was the same way. She just wore a bunch of hats when she was the director of recruiting. But now that she's been able to work from home, she is always doing something behind the scenes, and loves being around these guys, loves helping them grow and develop. Studies other coaches' wives and things too to see where she can get better. Some of you guys know Annie, and she's very intentional with what she does, but she never misses a moment to do something for these guys. And then I've got the best wife at home to help me recruit and to just help me prepare really for everything that I do in my job. Cannot give her enough praise for that.
Obviously, continuity is king on the offensive line. One of the big things is the transfer portal. We saw what came out of Washington last week with that executive order. What were your thoughts on that as we're trying to just calm what's going on in college football right now?
Yeah, I've always been a firm believer that you'd have to win in the high school ranks. I think that's where the majority of my focus has always been and probably will continue to be. So I'll let it play out and see how things go and figure out what direction Coach Riley wants to take it with the program.
Lincoln mentioned last week the possibility of Tobias, Justin, kind of maybe even filling in at the guard spot. How have you liked in terms of their versatility if one of them needs to kick inside to fill in for DJ?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of guys that are really versatile, and I think that's a strength of this offensive line is we've got a number of guys that can move around to different positions. Ultimately, that comes down to knowing the entire offense. Feeling comfortable with multiple guys doing that helps you everything as you're kind of transitioning going into season.
When it comes to the center position, what kind of characteristics, qualities do you look for in your ideal center?
Yeah, I think number one, intelligence, like football IQ, ability to communicate well with others, because at the end of the day, they're making a lot of the calls and they're communicating that down the line. And they have to be able to think really quick on their feet too. Have great reflexes and be willing and able to make those calls and be confident in them.
Is that spot pretty locked down, or you expect competition this fall?
Nah, multiple guys competing at that spot always. It's such an important position. But again, we have a lot of guys that have gotten center reps and are doing a really good job there.
Anyone particular you want to say?
Not really, yeah. We'll find out after camp.
With Elijah, obviously he took a lot of strides over the course of the season last year, but this offseason, where have you seen him maybe take the biggest steps?
I've been really proud of Elijah. I've known Elijah since he was 16 years old. I was one of the first people to start recruiting him, so I've seen him grow a lot. I've seen him in that building more than I ever have, and it's not for me to see him doing it, it's for him to get better. He's in the film room all the time. He's down on the turf in the weight room working out, getting extra reps. He's doing all the things that you should be doing if you want to be the guy. And so I've been really proud of him for that.
I hopped in here a little late, but could you tell me, what are you most looking forward to this season?
Oh man, there's a lot of things I'm looking forward to this season. I think just seeing the product out on the field for the first time. All off season we talk to you guys about what we think's going to happen, and nobody knows, and so all we can do is train and try to teach these guys the discipline and accountability it takes to be elite, and then instill those in them and let them go out and let it rip on game day.
Two guys for that 23 class, we have not, because of injury, not been able to see a lot of. Can you speak about Treater and Manuelos and just tell us what they bring and what, we've seen other guys play, but what do they have to show?
Yeah, talented guys, good guys that want to make a difference and make an impact for sure. Excited about them, to see them in camp, because I think they've both been getting a lot better and have been attacking everything from the film room to the field work. And so I think it'll be a really big fall camp for both of them.
What are your impressions of what Tremaine Carroll has been strength and conditioning?
Elite. I mean, that dude is not only as a person but as a strength coach, and his team are phenomenal. I think they're exactly what we need right now from an accountability and a discipline standpoint. You could see our team growing from it throughout the summer, and so I'm excited to see when we start stacking these years on top of each other and these semesters on top of each other, even where our team goes.
Last couple of months, what's changed for the offensive line? Obviously, a bunch of big guys. Strength coach has a lot to do with that. Have you seen their bodies change over the last couple of months?
Yeah. I mean, we gained a lot of muscle, lost fat, done the things you're supposed to do. I think Coach True and his team help from a mentality standpoint as big as anything too, and I'm huge on that. It's a big sign in my O-line room. It says trench mentality, and it's really trench mentality is kind of attacking everything with purpose and intention, and then playing with that mental edge where you're playing to the borderline of getting a flag on every single play and then pulling back a little bit just so you don't get flagged. But it's attacking everything that way, and I think those guys do a great job of teaching that in the weight room.
Who among the freshmen would you say is the most college ready at this moment, if you had to throw them into a game?
Man, they all have done a phenomenal job. Elijah Vicona has really attacked things from the day he stepped foot on campus, and he's kind of acted like a pro. And so, again, I could say those things about a lot of them. But he's one that stands out as just somebody who just always does the right thing. He holds himself accountable. He understands what it means to be on a winning team, and he's just really attacked everything since day one.
He's got a basketball background.
I don't know. I don't know if he does actually. I would imagine he's hooped a little bit in his time, but for a big dude like him, he really moves around well, and he plays with a great mentality too.
You don't see guys like that with that kind of athleticism. How does that show up on the football field when you have an offensive lineman with that kind of agility?
Yeah, honestly, I have to coach him a little different because of his size and some of the things that he does. He's 6'9", 385, and at times you forget that he can move around that well. But I've had to kind of adapt some of the ways that I coach to coach him a little differently because of his size and length and stuff, and things that he can get away with the other guys can't. But man, when he pulls and moves around, that's really impressive.
I'm sure you guys did your summer debrief from all of last year's film, first year in the Big Ten. Lincoln last week talked about looking at the way his team attacked you guys and what they presented you guys, what stood out as you went back over last year's film in terms of where you want to put this group this year?
I mean, I think it comes down to the same things all the time. Honestly, like I'm a big believer in I'll play anybody, line us up and let's go. And it's all about the way we play more than what anybody else does. And so I think getting our O-line to understand that too. It doesn't matter who they walk out there in front of you. I don't care if it's a first-round draft pick or if it's a former walk-on. Like, we got to go attack these dudes and play our game. And again, play with that trench mentality, man, and come off the ball and finish people.
Has there been kind of a healthy chip on the shoulders on the group coming into this year?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I use as much, bulletin board stuff as I can to, when there's doubters out there or people not thinking that we're going to be who I know we are. And those guys take that seriously too. So it's going to be a fun year, I think.
How's John Reed kind of fit into the group coming as a veteran?
Yeah, Johnner's done a great job. I'm really excited to watch him in camp as well. He's here in the spring. Just trying to understand our system, all the ins and outs, playing the center position. There's a lot to it. And he's done a nice job this summer of continuing to grow there. And so, but he's done a great job working in with the team and building those relationships.
Is that hard sometimes where you have veterans coming in and working with the group and just get the chemistry right?
Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit since the portal's been around for a while. Like, guys understand it a little bit more. But yeah, you can't fake 3 or 4 years of playing together and learning together, by coming in for a spring and a summer and thinking that that's going to be the same. But we got to maximize every opportunity we can and make it the best.
As far as like the defensive line, looked a lot different in the spring. What were your overall impressions after seeing that in this offseason with a bunch of bigger guys over there, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's great. It makes us better as an offensive line. We're facing some big physical guys that we're going to face this year. But I'm excited to watch those guys play too. They're playing with a different edge on in their group and a mentality to them too. So I think that we're going to make each other a lot better this camp, and I can't wait to watch them line up and play somebody else.
How much did it help in the spring and in the offseason just having a bunch of bigger bodies?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it's helped a lot. It's helped us just become a better offensive line from a physicality standpoint. I think it'll help get us more game ready for some of those bigger opponents. And, just the depth that they have over there as well is awesome. So, like I said, man, I'm excited to watch those guys go line up and play.
On that tangent, how much has Tremaine Carroll helped your route specifically?
A ton. Yeah, we were talking about Tremaine earlier. He's from a mentality standpoint as big as anything, probably. You guys know I've said multiple times, discipline and accountability are two of my biggest things that I press with these guys on. And so that was a really welcome change. Not necessarily a change, but just an emphasis point, I guess, when True and his group came in here. So to kind of, them backing up exactly what I've been saying has been really helpful. And we got a great group of guys that take that stuff serious anyway. So, but I think from a mentality standpoint, they've really helped us make some strides.
And what's more challenging for you, managing a group of 300-pounders or a little baby?
The little baby at times, but we're fortunate. He's a tremendous little one. So, but no, man, these guys are all awesome. They're a really easy group to work with. They all care about it and work extremely hard. So I'm blessed to be their coach.
Are they inviting you to barbecues as well?
I haven't gotten the invite yet. I think it's they don't want old coach. I'm like 37, but you'd think I was 75 years old for how they treat me. But no, I'm excited for them, man. It's a great time for them to spend together away from us. And honestly, I preach that a lot too when we go on vacations. Like, I ain't gonna wear you guys out, man. Get away from me. Go get away from ball for a little bit and recharge, and let's go back and attack when we get back.
Any kind of lessons learned from 1 year, like in Big Ten football?
I don't. They're exactly who we thought we were, or they are exactly who we thought they were. There's a lot of great teams, great players, great coaches. I mean, the Big Ten is as advertised. It's a great conference. It's all really, at the end of the day, it's about us and how we attack it.
And for travel, it was obviously some road difficulties last year. You feel like you get that under your belt and you'll be able to travel multiple time zones and be able to perform well on the road.
Yeah, honestly, it's an extra hour in the plane. I've never really thought that affected us that much. We didn't do what we needed to do to prepare to win those games, and at the end of the day, we weren't the best team that day. So trying to get our guys to control what we can control, and that is come out and play great ball on Saturdays.
It's the thing you're looking forward to the most when fall camp starts this week.
Just getting back into the routine and schedule, and just getting around the guys. I mean, that's always the best part of camp. Is it's 100% football all day, every day, and so that's where a lot of these relationships continue to grow, and you really get to see what your team's going to be. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see you, buddy. I don't know either. Yeah. Maybe, huh?
There's so many players.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Really good, and he did a really good
He did a great job, yeah. I texted him after.
He was fine, yeah.
He's a good kid,
I was going
man.
fishing and golfing. I'm like, I got you. This is great.
He's a horrendous golfer. He's a horrendous golfer.